This is an illustration of what was originally named the Southside School and was later renamed Edison School. It was built in 1881 and it was razed or torn down in 1965. There are now apartment buildings here. This would be Kitty Corner, Caddy Corner, across from Casey's on Route 24 in Fairbury. One of the reasons probably that the Fairbury area was the last part to be settled in the state of Illinois was the farmland back then was really swamp and very difficult to farm. So one of the major steps that needed to be taken was to drain the swamp, and that was done by installing tile beneath the ground that would collect the water and then drain it away eventually to a creek or a river. A gentleman by the name of Rufus Straight, who lived in Indian Grove, not only farmed, but he set up quite a tile factory by his house, as shown by the picture above. And tile is usually made by digging clay out of the ground and then forming the clay into a round hollow tube and then cut it off in manageable weights, maybe a foot long. And then those tile are put inside of a furnace, which could just be blocks stacked up with a heat source, and then they're fired usually at least a day to harden them up so they can be used in the field. Here's some more information on Rufus Straight, who had the tile factory. He was probably quite a wealthy man. He owned 780 acres of land and plus the tile factory. So he was quite a prominent gentleman back in the 1870s, 1879. He erected the tile factory, for example. Let's move to the Civil War, and there was quite a few men who served in the Civil War from the Fairbury area. From my count, I come up with 135 men served in the Civil War. Of the 135 men, 45 were from Fairbury, 41 are from Indian Grove, Avoca had 36, and Belle Prairie had 13. This is a list of the names of the gentlemen from Avoca that served in the Civil War. This is a list of names of the men from Belle Prairie Township who served in the Civil War. They include Beavis, Jenkins, Wood, Chapman, Craig, Fraley, Maddox, Montgomery, Putman, Stonecipher, Vording, and Zwizzler. Here's a list of the names of the men from Fairbury who served in the Civil War. I'll run through the last names here. Dryan, Baker, Bowen, Brooke, Brownson, Bunnell, Carrier, Caswell, Coughlin, Cooper, Crouch, DeLong, Drake, Elliott, Finnegan, Jones, Jarnt, Kilberry, Cone, Lovelace, Lynn, Massey, Nash, Paris, Phelps, Popejoy, Pratt, Rima, Robinson, Smith, Sparks, Spencer, Van Warmer, Vaux, Waldrick, Weeder, Williams, Zimmerman, and Zook. Here's a list of names of the gentlemen from Indian Grove Township who served in the Civil War. I'll run through the last names on this. Martin, Wills, Goon, Adams, Anderson, Archer, Atchison, Barger, Davis, Dodson, Dunnigan, Francis, Haley, Hanley, Hart, Hendershot, Houck, Carnes, Matherly, McKee, McStaunton, Mills, Moore, Nee, Norris, Patkin, Phillips, Plank, Rainey, Reed, Ritchie, Ross, Ryan, Scott, Tibbetts, and Spencer.